mama 5, living life, feeling alive. From kids to culture, news to tea. Real talk, real life, come vibe with me. That mama 5, she's got the vibe, yeah. Watching that Mama 5, where real stories meet real life. Hey, it's that Mama 5, living life, feeling alive. From kids to culture, news to tea.
Hello, everybody. Hello, good morning. How are you guys doing? If you can hear me, please do let me know in the comment section. How are you guys doing? Good morning, good morning. I'm just going to wait for others to join us. Okay. Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday. Oh, school in here, man. Welcome, everybody. How are you guys doing? How has your week been so far? Guys, if you can hear me, please can let me know in the comment section. Yeah, okay. I think my audio is fine. So, welcome, guys. This is going to be a very quick live stream, actually. I've got an online business meeting at 11 o'clock, so I need to be out of here. Good morning, Ford. Thank you so much for checking that for me. So I'm going to be glancing down at my time. So the maximum time I want to spend here is maybe an hour, 15 minutes, so I can go prepare for that online meeting and then that. So welcome, guys. How are you guys doing? Please like and share as you come in. And I'm sure you guys know why I'm here. So I am here based on the interview that what Daddy Freeze said on his gossip page. Should I say gossip page or gossip channel? Maybe we should not call it gossip channel. What he said on the Honest Bunch cast show. As you know, he's a speaker. He's a speaker on that show, and he obviously they all speak about different things. So I won't call it like a gossip channel. So he was advising people, obviously, because he has a large diaspora following, and he thought to advise them. But then before we dive into all these talks, or before we dive into what Daddy Freeze said, I think I should give you guys a quick summary of Daddy Freeze. I'm sure everybody, even if you're not Nigerian, you know who Daddy Freeze is. So Daddy Freeze used to be a radio man, like he works in a radio station, and I think he did that for years. He was once married to a woman who I think they have maybe multiple children together. I'm not sure how many children this woman has for him. And then he got divorced. It was a bitter divorce, and at some point it was coming out. He still talks about his divorce. It was coming around to talk about how crazy, how dangerous, how deadly, how that divorce shouldn't have been, but what the divorce was all about. And I don't think, since that Freeze has been speaking about his divorce from his ex-wife, I don't think his ex-wife has ever come out to maybe reply him. Maybe she must have, but I've not come across any. Okay, so that Freeze was the one talking all the time that I have seen. Maybe the ex-wife has done videos, I don't know. So he still talks about his divorce, how the woman showed him shaggy and all of that. And then he remarried, and he married a divorcee as well. Tasteboard was also previously married to a man. I think she has maybe, I don't know how many children she has with this other man. Yes, apparently that marriage was a like non-existent marriage. The guy showed up shaggy as well. And yes, so she eventually, packed up and walked out of the marriage, and that marriage took forever for the divorce to be processed. So yeah, So Tasteboard and Daddy Freeze got married, and they had Baby Freeze, Yellow Popo. They have a boy. So ever since, I think the first time I came across Daddy Freeze show was where I can't remember how long ago, but it was a show where it was one of these shows where him and a group of men were talking about how Nigerian men should not take their wife abroad when they travel abroad. And I was like, what kind of talk is that? I mean, they are married. So if they have the opportunity or the chance to travel abroad, hey, first, long time it is. How have you been? It's good to see you. How have you been? Like, where did you disappear to? It's good to see you. Welcome back. Please like and share. I am doing well. I hope you are as well. So, yeah, like I was saying, the first video, how I came across him the first time, yeah, himself and a couple of guys on the show on his Instagram, they were debating about how if you're a man, do not take your wife abroad if you're traveling abroad. And then there's been other shows of him where women have been bashed, women have been, maybe spoken about like a lesser being, and I was at some point I was taken aback when I started watching his videos. I often take his videos very personal because yes, I'm a woman, and the way himself and his panelists talk about women on his page, it's kind of like demeaning to me, coming from a learned man, coming from a man who is well educated, who is into radio, who has learned parents. His mom is a lawyer, I believe, or a lecturer or something. Somebody who has been in TV, in radio, who knows how this thing work. Just because you have a bitter marriage or a bitter divorce does not mean that you come out and portray your experience in a bad light to people out there. Yes, and it's known for cussing out people. Like if you say something or you disagree with him, or maybe you say something that he doesn't agree with, it gives you a curse. Like it curses you. He's an Ibadan man. He's an Ibadan man. So Ibadan people, no disrespect, Ibadan people will curse a carcass. Yes, Ibadan people will cause a carcass, a dead body. That dead body will rise up again. I am telling you, I lived in Ibadan for 2 years, so I know this for certain. If Ibadan people curse you, hey, if you are a living soul and an Ibadan person curse you, I swear to God, you will pray for the ground to open up and swallow you. Yes, that's how, So yeah, and also one thing that I've also known that the freeze for, that other people know him for again, is the fact that it talks against Nigerian pastors. Yes, it talks against the fact that you should not be paying tithe, you should not be giving churches your money, blah 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 blah. It talks about that all the time. He's a pastor himself, but then I've never come across a pastor who curses the way he does. Okay, he's a Gen Z pastor. That the freeze is going to be 50 this year, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it speaks about against Nigerian pastors and all of that, how you should not be paying tithes. However, he has a friend who is a pastor here in the UK. He has chosen not to speak about that man. There's a channel here on YouTube that has been dropping expose on Pastor Toby Adegboyega for the longest time. That the priest has never ever. He was like, oh, I asked him about all of these things, and I believe his words because he said blah 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 blah. And is one of his line of coming back is the fact that yeah, if the UK police investigated Toby Adegboyega and they did not find anything against him, why should he castigate him? And that yeah, he's a good friend of Pastor Toby Adegboyega, so he's never spoken anything against Pastor Toby Adegboyega. Never spoken about how his ministry generates money by asking members of their church to go sell their red blood cells, allegedly. How his ministry asks young Londoners to go take out loans, allegedly. All those kind of means. It does not say anything wrong. Even though BBC Panorama has carried that pastor, they've discussed him several times, but he has never ever come out to speak against Pastor Toby Adegboyega. Yeah, they are pally. Once he enters, if that person enters London today, you will see him with Toby Adegboyega, driving all over the place. So yeah, Daddy Freeze is known like that. One thing that Daddy Freeze doesn't do frequently is that you will never see him set up his camera and speak about the ills that the Nigerian government are committing against our citizens. Just before I came on live stream, there was a video of a young girl of a young lady, not a girl, a young lady somewhere, I think in Delta, I'm not sure, where she was talking about the fact that there are no schools, even the one school that is available, even the one school that is in that city is not functional. Like, no, the girl was like, oh, there are no chairs, there are no better infrastructures, even teachers are not paid. The fact that there used to be over 1,000 students in that school. Now there's barely 100, only for us to see the news that this girl was allegedly assaulted by the alleged chairman of that state. And I was like, so news like that, you will have thought that somebody with with such platform will come out and speak about it. He has not done so. And I would love to refer to that the phrase as, is that mine? I would love to refer to that the phrase as a social climber. So when any case happens, either it could be it could be a viral case. If it is a viral story and it happens, trust me that the phrase will set camera for 2 a.m. It will set camera and speak about it. Just like the case of, when we're talking about this Dangote with the FINA case and stuff like that, it was all over the place with it. When the case of what was it, this Toto DK and Church Hill reconciling, it was setting camera. In fact, he even interviewed Rose, the current wife of Kunle Churchill. Like I said, any viral story, you will see that the face climbing on it. However, issues affecting Nigerians, it will not be the first person to sit down here and turn on his camera and say, oh, by the way, I want to call out this. In fact, he recently came out and say, oh, Tinubu's government is doing great because dollar is now at 2. So, and I was like, what the F? Have they shared the APC money to his side? Because you've never come out here. Things are happening everywhere. And that the fish cannot tell me that there's a job or there's a certain business it does that funds its lifestyle in Nigeria. It can't come out to tell us. Maybe it should tell us what business it does or what job it does. Is it the money guns, pop my money gun, pop my money gun, pop my money gun, or give me super chat on YouTube that he gets, that's what funds his lifestyle? I don't think so. So, like I said, he's a social climber. You'll never see him be the first person to turn the camera on and say, oh, this is what this government is saying, blah, 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 blah. This is what is wrong. But when these stories happen, he's a social climber. He just comes and, talk about it. So that's pretty much the basic things you need to know about that phrase, okay? And yes, one person he will never speak about or he will never talk about is Very Dark Man. Because at some point, I think it was 2 years ago, a case almost involved him and Very Dark Man. And I'm going to quickly run you guys through that story if I can remember correctly. So apparently, when the case of certificates of sponsorship being sold in the UK became a thing, and people were making money, it got to a stage whereby people here in the UK are collecting money from people in Nigeria. Hello, mine, welcome. Please like the live stream. People in the UK who have access to providing certificates of sponsorship. So certificates of sponsorship is where, if you're a carer and you have like a business where you employ carers, the Home Office gives you the chance to employ people and sponsor their certificate, which means that once you employ people coming from Nigeria, you can then now apply to the Home Office for certificate of sponsorship for them, which only costs them like 300 and something pounds. So because they have the opportunity to be able to request the certificate of sponsorship for newcomers that are coming to work for them, they are now selling it at exorbitant costs. Like they are charging people £14,000, £15,000, even people from Nigeria, because when that certificate of sponsorship has been issued, then they can now go ahead and apply for their visa, and then they can now come into the UK and work for that person who offered them certificate of sponsorship that they have paid for. They've practically paid for their visa, which the Home Office must don't know about, because like I said, the cost of certificate of sponsorship is like 300 and something pounds, but these people, mostly Nigerians, are charging thousands of pounds for it. Till now, people are still paying for it, even though I've done several videos saying you should not be paying or more than 300. In fact, you the person applying should not be the one paying. It is the employer that is offering you a job that would apply and pay for it to the Home Office. But if they are now charging you £15,000, then you are dumb. Because go to the Home Office website, go to www.gov.uk and look at all the rules there. You are not supposed to pay for certificate of sponsorship. So people fell into the hands of these people. And it now happened that when Home Office started clamping down on these fake certificates, they're now closing some care homes, some organizations, and some people have paid for that certificate of sponsorship, obviously because Home Office now clamped down on them. they are not able to, get that type of sponsorship, which meant that the person in Nigeria is now stuck there with no chance of coming to the UK. So it happened that a lady now, I think that lady already went, tried to get the money from people, and apparently people were already buying because they told them that, oh, they can't get their money back, blah 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 blah. So this lady now went to meet Daddy Freeze to say, oh, Daddy Freeze, I want you to share this story about this person. And I think a certain guy called Okunora or something was also implicated in that story. I'm sure it's somewhere on Facebook. There's lots of videos, but because they spoke Igbo, I can't bring the videos. So a certain guy on Facebook was also involved in this case called Okunora. And so this lady went to Daddy Freeze, spoke the story. What she did not say was that she was a middleman. That is, she knows the person who is collecting money for selling certificates of sponsorship, and she knows people from Nigeria. So when she brings people from Nigeria to the person, she gets her own share. Whether they get the visa or not, she is a middleman. So apparently most of the people she brought, they were not able to get visa for them. She don't collect her own middle money. Now they are now looking for the lady who's meant to give them certificate of sponsorship after collecting thousands of pounds, but they can't find her. So that story went like that. And I think at some point, that the Freeze realized that the lady is not being truthful, and he would not obviously listen to her. Then this lady now went to Very Dark Man and said that, oh, that Freeze charges me 1 million naira to come speak about this story, even though it's about exposing people for doing bad, all of that shenanigans. Very Dark Man did maybe one video, but that the Freeze ran. However, he did went on to do wonderful interviews to expose that woman and also that people who are, obviously, because the woman did not say the correct story of how she was involved as a middle person. So that's that story there. So that the Freeze will never speak about Very Dark Man. He would never ever speak about Very Dark Man, because Very Dark Man made it clear that he does not like Daddy Freeze. So you already know who your enemy is. Why would you want to speak about them? So let's go on to why I am here. Let me share my screen with you actually, so we can have context. Okay, let me share my screen. Why I decided to bring this live stream to you guys. Okay, so let's hear Daddy Freeze speak, which was what prompted this live stream. So,
or the enjoyment promised abroad.
Let me start from here. So, according to the caption, if you are above 40 and you are married, avoid any kind of abroad unless, according to Daddy Freeze. Okay, so let's listen.
Is much more than anything you can have here. Avoid America and avoid the UK for now. If you are.
So I was listening to this before it plays, so I'm just going to allow it finish this and then I'll allow it replay again. Okay, guys, please like and share. OJ, welcome.
Relocating, avoid them.
Why?
You give birth to children abroad, you will not get their citizenship.
Local, 2031. I go dodge her. But that dodge now go to come back.
I just wanted to say something.
Okay, so this is the start of what you have to say. So let's concentrate and listen, please. Welcome everybody. OJ, I see you. Please like and share as a comment. I really appreciate it. And please, if you're watching on your mobile phone, if you double tap the screen, it will record the like video. It will show your like. And if you're watching on an iPad or on a laptop, please click the like button. It's a thumbs up like that. So click on it, please, and share. I really appreciate it for you guys.
Too much because I have a lot of audience abroad from my live shows. I'm going to tell you some things. One,
okay,
if you are above 40 and you are married, avoid any kind of abroad. Unless two conditions.
So he said, if you are above 40, you should avoid any kind of abroadness. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Let me remove this. Guys, let me know if you can see the video I'm watching. I'm sharing with you guys. Yes, you can see it. All right, okay, thank you.
One, the suffering in Nigeria is unbearable, or the enjoyment promised abroad is much more than anything you can have.
So according to him, if you are 40 and above and you are married, you should avoid traveling out of Nigeria unless on two conditions. One, the suffering in Nigeria is obviously you can't cope with the suffering, or two, the enjoyment you are being given in diaspora, outweighs you staying in Nigeria. So I'm going to comment in regards to that. You are not seeing DFK. I don't know what's happening. Okay, let me stop sharing. Let me try and we see no, we know they see video. All right, okay, let me share again. I don't know why. How about now? If you can see the screen I'm sharing with you, let me know. Okay, I think you can see the screen now. So, okay, I think you should be able to see the background. You should be able to see the video now. Yes, thank you, OJ, for double checking that. Thank you guys for confirming that. Thank you. So, let's listen again so you know who is speaking, okay?
Here. Avoid America and avoid the UK for now if you are married. Relocating, avoid them.
Why?
You give birth to children abroad, you will not get their citizenship.
Relocation, current 2031. I go dodge am. But that dodge now go to come back.
So listen, guys, this is where he's going to put his take, and I'm going to respond to each of his takes, okay?
I just wanted to say something, not too much, because I have a lot of audience abroad from my live shows. I'm going to tell you some things. One, if you are above 40 and you are married, avoid any kind of abroad.
See here, with this statement, I agree with him to a certain extent. If you're 40 and above, that's what he said. And I'll let you know why I agree with him. So, if you're 40 and above, and you've packed all of your stuff, and don't get me wrong, I advocate for people to Japa, but make sure you come through the right channel. Okay, make sure you come through the right channel. I will never ask anybody not to Japa. If you come into the abroad or anywhere in the UK or US, if you're traveling on a visiting visa, and you intend to stay, be rest assured that you are setting yourself up for failure. So I slightly agree with some of what he said, but not all. Okay, but this particular one saying that if you're 40 and above, you should forget Japa. Why I agree with him is that you already have a life in Nigeria. I want to believe that you already have a better job. So if you have a better job, a better paying salary job in Nigeria, and you are doing fine, and you don't see the need for you to leave for abroad, don't do it. But if you've had to sell all of your personal belongings, you've had to leave a good paying job and uproot your children as you are over the age of 40 and you come abroad, in my own opinion, I want to believe it's not totally a wrong move if you have a professional job. Let's say you are a doctor, you are an accountant, you are an engineer. If you have this career path and you are above 40, I would say come abroad. Come. I would say yes. But if you are above the age of 40, you don't have any professional skill. You are not a doctor, you are not a nurse, you are not an engineer, you are not an IT specialist, you are not an accountant, or you be carpenter, or you don't have any you're not a skilled worker. When I say skilled, like highly skilled worker, like doctors have explained, and you don't belong in your career prospect or your career is none of these things, I'm sorry. You're setting up yourself for, maybe not for failure, but you will struggle. So let's say, for instance, you're not a doctor and all of these things. When you come, you'll probably be any salary of maybe 5-figure salary. And you have brought your wife, let's say that, as Nigerians, and Nigerian with a bomb plenty picking. With a bomb plenty picking. So at least someone that I recently just met last week, they came in with 5 children from Nigeria. The wife is a nurse. I don't know what job the husband does because I did not ask. I don't want to start putting my nose into what's none of my business. So with that sort of family, I'm sorry, they will struggle. So hence why I said I agree to a certain extent with him. And also, above the age of 40, you're not a professional. how many more years do you think you'll be able to work? Remember, the retirement, the early age you can take retirement here is 58, and you need to have been able to contribute into your pension pot. You will find out that most of the Nigerians above the age of 40 who are now coming to this country on some sort of visa, they don't have a pension pot. They don't have any money put in their pension. So those are the ones you will see when they retire. They don't have a lot of money to fall back on after retirement. And some would choose to stay here. So I agree to a certain level with what he's saying. For me, I've been in the UK since I was 20. Yes, I left Nigeria when I was 19. I have been working since I was 22. I am 42 now, which means that I have contributed into my pension pot for 20 years. Which means that when I turn 58, I can take early retirement. And if I still want to continue working, I can continue to keep working. Now, somebody who has just entered age 40, 42, someone of my age with 5 children, like I said, the salary they'll be making is maybe like 5-figure salary. So I agree with him to a certain extent. But does that mean that this will apply to all? No. So that's why I said I partially agree with him. If you're age 40 and over, make sure you are planning for your future, because for the fact that you've come here, so that's that about that. And I don't understand the aspect of if you are married, there are couples. So you expect the man to leave the wife in Nigeria, or the woman to leave the husband in Nigeria and travel alone? That is wasting resources. Why don't you want husband and wife to come abroad? Because the wife will be in Nigeria, the husband will be here, the husband will be paying rent in the diaspora and still be paying rent for the wife in Nigeria. That's a waste of resources in my own opinion. So maybe he needs to come back and clarify what he meant by if they are married, they should not. But let's keep listening.
Unless 2 conditions. One, the suffering in Nigeria is...
The suffering in Nigeria is more than enough reason to get out of Nigeria. I was watching a video of the Peter Edochie there talking about he spent 40,000 naira, is it every day or every week, on electricity? And me, I went to go and drop a comment there that your Edochie, your son said we should relax, that Tinubu is fixing it. You need to go and see the dingbat underneath that comment. 40,000 naira a day on electricity. Make it make sense. Even with all of the people in Nigeria, with all of the security, people are still being kidnapped. I was also watching a video recently of a I don't know where it is, where they were, Julius Berger were apparently digging up a gutter, and a young child and her sister were coming from school. The young girl dropped something on the floor. A truck is a very tight road. The truck was reversing. So apparently, if it's a tight road, why would you want to reverse in a tight road with a big truck? All this truck, when you are digging holes, that's what the truck looked like. So apparently, the driver was trying to reverse the truck. The child bent down to pick something, and that child got crushed. It apparently happened on a Monday, and since that incident happened, they've continued walking as if nothing happened. Is that not enough reason? But let's keep it. So that's that. If you suffer, come out, leave, okay?
It's unbearable, or the enjoyment promised abroad is much more than anything you can have here.
Enjoyment abroad. If I were to make a decision to leave Nigeria again, I will leave, because I don't have to be terrified of being kidnapped every day that I go out. I don't have to be terrified that my children who have gone out to school will not be, coming back, God forbid, because their enemy got kidnapped. Don't get me wrong, there are crimes here in the UK, okay? But in Nigeria, crimes happen. All of these things happen. Nobody's being held. Nobody's accountable for it. No compensation, nothing. In diaspora, I've shared a story of when I was involved in a motor accident. It was not my fault, and I know how much compensation I got. It was a 7-figure compensation I got. Yes, it was a 7-figure compensation I got. Get involved in an accident today in Nigeria. I just talk about that child there. Nothing is going to happen. Nobody's going to take accountability. Nobody's going to be held responsible, and no compensation whatsoever will be given to the victim. Medical facility here in the UK. I just shared last week as well of how I thought I had breast cancer. I was sane within a week. I was seen within a week. When I found a lump, I was seen within a week. And I got my result back in 2 weeks. It was all fine. If that was in Nigeria, I don't even think we have a doctor to diagnose you. We've heard of places where they don't even have a CT scan. Doctors are currently on strike in Nigeria. God forbid anybody falls sick right now. You know, so if we have to talk about the health, yes, NHS is failing. We like them like that. We still get seen. Like I told you, I was seen within a week when I found a lump on my boobs. I was seen within a week. In Nigeria, you will have to go to the highly specialist hospital, and even with that, you're not sure they'll be able to find a solution to your problem. So if that is not a reason for you to Japa, I don't know why. I have been in the UK for 22 years now. Maybe electricity went off maybe twice. And before electricity goes off, we will be notified in advance. You'll be sent letters, you'll be sent emails, you'll be sent a text message to say the electricity is going to go off. And when it goes off, it only goes off for maybe 1 minute. You are being notified in advance. There are some areas in Nigeria they've not had electricity for years. And they're apparently going to be paying electricity, right? So listen to Daddy Freeze at your own peril. Okay, Daddy Freeze is a big man. Like I said, he cannot come out. If he wants to tell us that his lifestyle is legit, he should come out and tell us what business he does. Because he cannot tell me that it's his Pop My Money that is paying for his lifestyle. So the two reasons here is that if Nigeria, the sufferness is too much, or the enjoyment abroad, like, it cannot be compared to Nigeria. It cannot be compared to Nigeria, but let's keep listening. So the lady asked him why.
Avoid America. I
agree. Avoid America. If you're going to go to any place, avoid America, because Trump is sending back every alien. I don't know where that one saw alien. Avoid America, yes.
Avoid the UK for now. If you have
the UK, policies have been changing, and hence why I said, if you're going to travel anywhere in the country, travel on the right visa for yourself. Don't travel on a student visa, and you want to come and work here full time. Don't travel on a visiting visa, and you want to come and work here and not go back to Nigeria. It does not make sense. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Still, I will not ask you not to travel, but travel on the correct and right visa. And yes, policy has changed a lot in the UK. So now, normally when you come in with a whatever visa you come in, after 5 years, you get indefinitely. That has changed now. It's doubling to 10 or 15 years. That has changed, but then it is achievable. So if you are maybe age 40 and it takes you 15 years to get your leave to remain, 15 years or more, maybe you need to have a thought about that. The indefinite leave that would normally take you 5 years, it's going to take you triple that time now, which means that you will not have access to maybe child benefit, all of this extra support that the government give you if you are working, if you have a low income, or if you have young children, which means that you will not be entitled to maybe house benefit. God forbid you're not able to work, but the government can support you with your rent, which means that you will not be able to claim free school fees for your children, because normally once you get indefinite leave, it will remain after 5 years. If you've lived in that particular area for 3 years and over, the government will pay for your children's fees if they go to university. Which means that when your children start university, you will still have to be paying thousands of pounds as university school fees for them. So maybe it's worth thinking about it as well before you actually Japa. Or maybe it's better you do so when your children are of secondary school age, which means that by the time they finish secondary school, you are coming close to getting your indefinite leave to remain. And because you've been in that area for that long, your children will be able to qualify from the government paying their university fees. If you come at the age that they are all almost finishing secondary school, you'll be paying international school fees for your children as the university fees. So it's worth thinking about. But then don't, because that the freeze advice that if you are age 40 you should not come abroad. Don't take his advice based on his own reasons, because that freeze does not live abroad, so he really does not know the system in and out. There might be some things he's not aware of that is privy to, that some of us we know. But because he lives here, he only comes here for enjoyment and he goes back. He really does not know. So if you're going to travel, the most important thing here is that you should travel on the right visa. And before you pick that visa, understand the route. understand what you you're meant to gain. How long is going to take you to get indefinite leave to remain? How long are you going to keep renewing for? And how are you working towards it? And yes, we bet, diaspora marriages collapse, Nigerian marriages collapse. We know reasons why. A lot of things contribute to how those marriages collapse. Two couples come in, now only one person they work, and you get children. Make it make sense. Even though both people are not living on one, they are not living on one income. As a couple, you travel abroad, you've got children. Why should you be depending on one income? If the other person is not sick, if you don't have any reason not to work, why can't both of you work and chip into that pot? Because tell me how you want to survive on one income when you have multiple children or even have one children. That's where issues happen. Or some wives, I want to be a full-time wife, and then your husband is the only one doing all the work, when you can actually maybe do a bit of part-time job to bring in some income. Or some husband saying, I want to continue to provide support for my children, I'm not going to work. It doesn't work that way. The people where you can't live for their country, they are working, they are pulling their weight, but you where you can't borrow their country to live, you're saying otherwise. Like, make it make sense. So I hope I'm making sense with all of these things. What I think you guys should be taking away from this advice that Daddy Freeze is giving is the fact that he's just said it. We don't know the people who are sharing their stories with him, but then just listen, but make your own decisions yourself. If you're applying for a visa, know how many times you're going to have to renew on that visa. What will you do, or what will be the outcome of that visa in order for you to get permanent residency and stuff? Because like I said, policies are changing in the UK. Policies are changing in the UK, and this policy did not just change overnight. They changed over the course of the years. So that's that. Let's keep listening.
Married, relocating, avoid them.
Why?
You give birth to children abroad, you will not get their citizenship.
I agree with him because, like I said, policies are changing. Okay.
Canada is safer
because of that age.
Now, let me tell you what people do. Not because of the age, because of the immigration policies.
Policies at this time.
Let me tell you what people do.
So his reason is based on immigration policy. That's why I said that I agree with him to an extent. So you are coming knowing that it's going to take you 15 years to get your indefinite leave to remain. Is that something you can live with? Are you willing to work, continue to chip in all the bills you'll be paying, renewal fee every 5 years, and those renewal fees, they are not cheap. Are you willing to continue to do that? Paying renewal fees every 5 years, paying for your children's school fees, paying for all of your bills. You'll be able to get medical health. Obviously, there's some sort of some charges you pay. You can access NHS. Are you willing to continue to pay your bills without any external help from the government? If you are able to do that for 15 years, then what's stopping you? If you're not willing to commit to that, route, then don't. So that was why I said I agree with him to a certain extent. Some people, they came in without having the understanding of the kind of visa they have, which means that in 15 years time, that's when you get your, And some people, they already have the knowledge and they are willing to continue to work, save, chip in, and then in 15 years time they'll get their indefinite leave to remain. So people are happy, but if you're not willing to go through that route, then that's why I said it's giving you the reasons here. The reasons might not be a problem for you, it might be for other people. So that was why I said I agree with him to a certain extent. Okay, for me, if I'm being told it's going to take me 15 years before I get my indefinite leave to remain, I will consider another country. And which is why he's saying there that, okay, go to Canada. Canada is blah, 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 blah. All of these countries, once one country starts with something, they all follow similarly, but maybe not instantly, but they all follow eventually. But then again, he's only giving an advice, and it's up to you to decide what is best for you. So don't allow that the freeze make a decision for your life. And I've seen some people who japa above the age of 40 and they did well, or they are doing well. And we've seen some, they could not handle it, they decided to go back to Nigeria. Okay? Because at the end of the day, if you're living in Nigeria, it's because you want a better life, mostly for children. But if you don't have any plans, you will struggle. You will struggle. But let's keep listening to him.
Two people go abroad, husband and wife. They have to divorce each other and marry other people to get papers.
So that one is for people who came into this country either on a visiting visa and they don't want to go back. So they used to do that in the olden days, but not now. You can't do that anymore. So this story that he's sharing now, that one an old story. That one an old story. At some point, I almost fell victim to doing that, but I realized that I didn't have to. Osa says Canada is changing soon. See? So this story of him saying that some people will have to divorce each other, because even at the end of the day, going this husband and wife that are coming to the UK, no government, they would not even tell the UK government that they are married. They might just say, well, they are just families. So this story of him saying that people will have to divorce each other to marry other people because they want paper, that's how they choose to go. They don't have to do it. These are the kind of people that said that no, they pretty much don't understand the kind of visa they've come into the country with. And then when they now make them go, they are looking for measures that is really not suitable by divorcing each other and going to marry somebody else so that they get paper. And that is fraud, because if the Home Office find out that is the case. So that story is saying it used to be the case, but no, not anymore. Not anymore. I've not heard of recent cases of people doing that too. So this story that this is giving you guys is old story. But let's listen.
Especially the UK and the US, unless one of them is a citizen. Canada, you can get PR. America, you have to divorce each other. How many marriages can survive a divorce and remarriage of the same couple?
So even healthy.
Normal marriage where they quarrel. If una divorce, on to say, me, I marry her for papers, she marries him for papers, then when we get our papers, we will divorce them, come marry ourselves.
So I'm not even...
Like I said, that is fraud. So if eventually the Home Office found out that was what they did, they could potentially cancel the visa altogether. That is fraud. So couple who come in and marry and say this is because they came on the wrong visa. Like I said, if you are a professional, you probably come in on the high skill visa, whereby you won't have any issue. Like the new policies in the UK will not affect if you're a doctor, if you're an engineer, if you're an high skilled person. This policy that is changing, saying that in 50-year time you will get your requirement, it will not impact you. The likes of people who are coming on student visa and post-work, post-study visa and all of these things, these are the people who are being impacted. And if they are not willing to continue with this, you are allowed to carry your bags and go back or go somewhere else. But this case of you have to divorce each other, that is extreme. And in most cases, that people who don't get paper or who don't get a valid visa in the first place that will do so. Hence why I said, make sure you are Japa with the right visa. Don't Japa as husband and wife on a visiting visa and you don't want to go back. These are the people who are now going through measures of, let's divorce each other and then go and... These are people who actually do not have plans. Yeah, they came in on a visiting visa and that's what they want to do. And like I said, if they want to find out that was what happened, it's classified as fraud. And if they ever find out, that visa will be cancelled. So that, I guess that's why him saying that, oh, don't come with your wife. Why not? You can come with your wife, apply for the right visa. Your husband and wife, you tend to work. If you're on the right visa and you have your children, you'll be just fine. But if you carry picking 20 picking come with visiting visa, you struggle, and that's what is happening. And then it is not just beside when it happens, you see that they are marrying Oyibo people, and Oyibo people will show them shege. They are marrying Oyibo people. So this scenario is painting here. I've seen it happen a few times. Some people it favored them, and some people it did not work out because the wife could not take it. Yeah, it's always a woman. The wife could not take it, or the plan was that don't go and impregnate the person you are marrying, or don't go and get belle for the man you are marrying, but it's not always work out that way. It's either the man impregnates the Oyibo or the woman get belle. And how do you want such marriage to come back? It's not possible. Let me read your comment, guys. Welcome everybody. I see you. Age is a number. Yes, mine said. You just said above 40 years of age and above, it's harder to settle. Exactly. And like I said, these things are decisions you need to make on yourself. And is that the free the right person to be taking advice from? Hell no, because he doesn't live in diaspora. He only comes abroad for enjoyment and he goes. And yes, he moves about with the people who have income of concerned, or income of people. How do I even put it? They have an income of concerning issues or something. Yeah, their source of income is not straightforward, allegedly. Mine said, if it's God's will, then I don't see an issue. There is no age limit to success. In diaspora, let I know God. We put God in everything, but Osa said, if you're going without legal status now, prepare for a long road. Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, if you're a doctor, you're an engineer, you're a nurse, you're an accountant, these new policies will not impact you. It will not impact you. Okay. Truth and mindset. True. The odds are stacked against a person who is older with no skills. Thank you. 5 because they will struggle. Is it childcare? Is it childcare? Osa says Canada is changing soon. Oh, most people who Japa are in skill. Thank you. That's just the truth there. Let's keep listening to Daddy Frizo.
Who marry like that? Where the man don't impregnate them?
It's a relationship.
Wow.
Canada is safer.
Because of that age?
Now, let me tell you what people do. Not because of the age, because of the immigration policies.
Policies at this time.
Let me tell you what people do. 2 people go abroad, husband and wife. They have to divorce each other and marry other people to get papers, especially the UK and the US, unless one of them is a citizen.
Yeah, we know that.
Canada, you can get PR. America, you have to divorce each other. How many marriages can survive a divorce and remarriage of the same couple?
So even healthy.
Normal marriage where they quarrel. If we not divorce, on to say, me I marry her for papers, she marries him for papers. Then when we get our papers, we will divorce them, come marry ourselves.
Some don't even marry like that. Where the man don't impregnate them?
It's a relationship.
Wow.
Canada is safer. So
No,
right now,
be marry the placeholder wife. No be
right
joke.
now, one of the worst things you can do, relocation-wise, if you are 35 and above, is go to the US or the UK. Look at Canada. Look at Australia. Look at some parts of Europe that are more.
You can travel anywhere as long as you have the right visa. That's just the advice I'm going to give to you guys here. Like I say, you know what? I'm an advocate. I left, like I said, I left Nigeria when I was 19. So I've been in the UK since age 19. I gave birth to my first child in Nigeria before I traveled. So she was 9 months old when I left Nigeria. And she's 22 now. If I'm not mistaken, she's 22 now. And my other 4 children, I gave birth to them while I am here. I gave birth to them here in the UK. So in a way, my own case is different. And how I came into the country was I came in through, visiting. That was how I came in. I'm not going to say much about that. But then, would I advise someone to come through the same route that I did? No. Not when you have 5 children. If you're just by yourself and maybe with 1 child, I wouldn't even advise you to come through a visiting visa. Don't do it. Don't do it, because you come through a visiting visa and your plan is to stay, you are in for a long road. You're in for a long road. You will struggle because now nobody wants to even accommodate you. Probably they accommodate you for 1 month and then they send you out. So this thing that the freezer has said here, like I said, is just chipping his opinion. I don't know the people who are sharing their stories with him, but the story that they are sharing with him is an outdated story. It's an outdated story. I don't think in the past 2-3 years, I don't think I've heard a story of somebody they came into the country as husband and wife and they now divorce themselves because they want to collect paper. It's an outdated story. The story now that we are even trying to get off is the fact that people are buying COS, even though the government already made it clear. Even me, I've done stories. MC Oluomo, that I've called out several times, is the gang of the people who are selling COS. As at today, as at this morning, I still know of a story of somebody who is buying and paying for certificate of sponsorship. They're paying £10,000 for it, when it is clear on the government website that your employer should be the one to apply to the Home Office and it only costs £325. Why are you paying £10,000 for something that costs £325? So, yeah, all I'm going to say is 40 and over, if you have a better job, if you have a better paying job, I still would not ask you not to Japa, because at the end of the day, the conditions in Nigeria, it's not really great. I'm sorry. the condition currently right now in Nigeria is not great. It's nothing to write home about. No medical facility, like God forbid an accident happened right now. Instead of people to carry that, like maybe people to call ambulance to come and help. No, people will carry their phone and start filming. How many days ago did I saw a post of a guy who went running? I think for him it was a hit and run because he had injuries, so somebody must have hit him or something. Instead of people to maybe do some sort of CPR or something, they had their phone there filming him. We don't have any, like, somebody falls sick today, you can easily take them into an hospital. You can't do that. Even if you do that, they will tell you if you pay for card, you are not even certain that there's going to be a doctor. Yeah, doctors are leaving because there are no better prospect for them in Nigeria. They are leaving. Do I blame them? No. So, like I said, that face is just saying his own thing. And like I said, he needs to come out and tell us how he's funding his lifestyle. It goes about with all these flashy cars, expensive wristwatches. How much is he earning? Is it that he made a lot of money when he was a radio man, that he's able to afford this lifestyle that he's showcasing? He's able to travel over the weekend to London for a birthday party and then flies back. Don't get me, he also had a sister who is living in London as well. So I agree with him to a certain extent, but this part of don't travel with your wife is stemming from maybe his experience of whatever he must have experienced with his wife. Because I don't understand why you'd be advising a married couple not to travel abroad. Come through the right channel, travel through the right visa, and understand the route of that visa before you embark on the journey. And here, I will not advocate for you to sell your properties. I will not advocate for you to sell your portfolio to travel out of Nigeria. If you're doing great, there was a story of a guy who claimed he was doing fine. He has a poultry business. His wife had multiple businesses. They were doing fine, but because the wife wants to travel at some point, he traveled and now they're struggling in the UK. If that was me, I would not do that. If I have a better job, I have a better business that is spending me money, why would I do that? Why would I want to leave? And yes, I understand security in Nigeria is non-existent. Our politicians are doing nonsense. They are raving mad. Everybody can arrest anybody anyhow. But then, you can make that decision yourself. Don't say because the refuse is saying, oh, this. Like I said, some of the points he raised, I agree with him. But should his opinion decide how you move forward with your life? No, especially coming from somebody who don't even speak up about issues happening in Nigeria. Let me read your comment and then we'll finish this. Then we'll listen to the rest of the video. Guys, please like and share as a comment. Osa said, do you have this with questionable income? Like, exactly. That's why I said if he's proud of his lifestyle, and like I said, he's not even the person you should be taking advice from. If you want to take advice, if he wants us to take advice from him, he needs to tell us what he does. He needs to come and tell us what funds his lifestyle. Osa said, I get what he's saying due to the changing. Exactly. That's the only cocoa of what he's saying here. The only reason I agree with him is the fact that yes, changing immigration policies. Like I said, immigration policies, you used to be able to get your indefinite leave to remain in 5 years, after 5 years. Now, Kemi Biden and all of them, they are raving mad in the UK. They've changed everything. The US, Trump is deporting aliens. So again, you don't necessarily have to come to the UK. You don't necessarily have to come to the US. Like, go elsewhere. Even me as I did, so my kids are all grown. It's going to be hard to convince them to come with me. If I have my way, I want to pack my bags and go to Australia. Australia is in my eyes. Yes. Australia, they my eyes. Even that US that they are saying we should not go, the US, they my eyes as well. Even Canada. Because I'm tired of the UK. Yes, I'm tired of the UK. Well, maybe because I'm in Scotland. There's not much happening in Scotland anyways. I'm tired of the UK. I want to go somewhere else. So don't just like outsource, go elsewhere. Australia, Austria, that places that Nigerians are moving to and they are doing great. And also for those of over 40 years of age who are planning to come to Diaspora, you have to work. Ford, I don't think I can live. London is like Idumota. I've been to London a few times. I can't live in London. I can't. I can't live in London. See, if I get free house, I can't live in London. London is too. It's too. I don't know. It's too somehow for me. I can't live in. I was there a few years ago when I went to attend my friend's wedding. I can't live in London. London is too. It's like Dumont. It's like Oshodi. I can't live in London. So, guys, I'm rounding up, but let's finish watching that video of this to finish what he has to say.
More immigration friendly. So, one of the problems we have in Nigeria is copycat mentality. Agbani Darego won Miss World. Before you know, there was Miss Falamo Bridge. There was Miss Obalinde. There was a beauty pageant on every street corner. Nigerians know how to follow. This one don't go. You don't make them. You pack your load, go, not knowing what you are going to do.
Just like when we won our award. Let's podcast. Everybody's. But it's okay.
Yeah. So right now,
he married the placeholder wife.
Right now, one of the worst things you can do, relocation-wise, if you are 35 and above, is go to the US or the UK. Look at Canada. Look at Australia. Look at some parts of Europe that are more immigration friendly. So, one of the problems we have in Nigeria is copycat mentality.
So, guys, you already heard what he had to say based on, not traveling abroad above the age of 40. I think what I'm going to be leaving you guys with is that if you are age 40 and over, know that you will have to work, okay? Except maybe you have a business, you are self-employed, and that business is going to be enough to pay, because there's a lot of bills here that goes out in the UK. If you have a mortgage, you pay your mortgage, you have to pay for your council tax, your insurance, house insurance, and all of that. You have to pay for, obviously you want to drive, because people who are going to work and they don't have cars, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it though. Yes, a car is a necessity you cannot afford, you cannot avoid not having. But yeah, it solves a lot of things. I can't imagine places I've been that I really want to do some stuff, but if I had to jump on public transport, I don't know how to do it. Even if I had to jump on the taxi, I'll even be spending more. So I'm glad I drive. You'll have to pay for your car. And yes, nobody's looking at what car you're driving. As long as the car is able to move from A to B, you are fine. I'm a car freak. But still, I've not changed the car I've been driving. My car is a 13 plate and I'm still driving it. As long as it moves me from A to Z, I am fine with it. I'm not change your car every year. Change your car every year. Like a few years ago, I used to want to change my car every year. But we all have different, focus. So now, as long as the car is able to move it one way to the other, that's fine. And again, one thing I would advise you, maybe I can give you coping skills. If you decide that you want to come over, for a fact, you are coming on a legit visa and you understand the route, that you won't have any problem living on that route. What I would say to you is this: if you are a couple, you have children, and you are 40 and over, it is doable. Don't let that phrase, stop that plan. Like I said, the main thing here is that you are on a legit visa route. You're not coming with a visiting visa. If you are coming on a visiting visa, I don't have any advice for you. Okay, so if you've made up your mind that you want to come and you understand the visa route you're coming on, you are happy to go on that, to stay on that route. And it's not the one that all of you will come and we are going to start popping babies every year. If that is your plan, you are on a far thing. If you're done having babies or you already have maybe young children, and then again, don't be like me. I had my children. I had 4 of them here in the UK. I did not have them in Nigeria. Come and carry them here. No. So my scenario is different from you, that you are coming with 5 children below the age of 10. If you have 5 children below the age of 10, don't do it. Stay put in Nigeria. Stay put in Nigeria, because if you decide to come to the Diaspora, all of your salary will be going towards childcare. So now, advice for people who want to come. Couples who are a couple above the age of 40, they have children, maybe 2-3 children, and they want to come. My advice for you is this, and who understand and who are on the right visa. Okay, one thing I would say to you is this: you have to work. Your employed job might not be enough, because you have rent to pay, council tax, food, transport, clothing, TV, social, whatever, childcare, if your children are, with the childcare thing, you both of you might be able to walk through it. You just have to do shift jobs. So I'm assuming that you are not professionals. Maybe you come on some sort of skilled visa. Maybe you are a teacher. Even as a teacher, even as a doctor, even with all of that, as a couple and you have children, even with the highly skilled people, this tip will be beneficial for you. Will be of benefit for you. Even those who are not on any skilled visa, but you've come on a visa that you understand that it's going to take you 15 years to get your indefinite leave to remain. This advice is still applicable to you. If you have children, in order to avoid spending all of your salary on childcare, both of you will have to work shift jobs. So either somebody works day and the other person works night. That way, while whoever is working night is at work, the person who went to work in the day will be at home to look after the kids, while the other person goes to work their night shifts. And while the person who goes to work their night shift is coming back in, you that you're working morning, you've already prepared the kids. You either get them ready for the person who's coming in from night shift to drop them off at school, so that person can sleep. And when that person sleeps, obviously collect the children from school. That was how me and my husband were able to do our thing. Work shift. That way, you won't be paying a lot of money on childcare. And also, bills. You have to pay your bills. And as you're working, a lot of mistakes that some of our Nigerian people are doing is that they don't contribute into their pension plans. I've met a couple of Nigerians who say, "Oh, they don't contribute into their pensions." Like, how? So, which meant that you will work, you've settled, you are of retirement age, you are retiring with no pension, except you are putting it into a private pension pot that your employer is not. So for me, I opt in for my employer and I'm putting in the maximum that I can put. Okay. At least maybe like 9.5% of my wage goes into my pension every month. And according to the HMRC, my retirement age is 58. God knows I don't want to work till that age. So yes, being a couple in diaspora, even your employed job might not be enough. You might need to maybe do some side also on the side, especially if you've got children and you like the high life. You want to buy expensive stuff. You want to go dining every weekend. You want to you want to go on holidays and stuff like that. Your employed job might not be enough because, like I said, bills is a must you have to pay in this country. Cost of food and all of that is rising, especially for those who are coming on a visa. You are not entitled to any government support. The government is not going to give you child benefits. Child benefits, I think, is about £220 for 2 children. £220 a month for 2 children, and they pay this money for children below the age of 60. So those of you who are on a visa, you will not be entitled to that support. You will not be entitled to that support. So up until you are able to get your permanent residency, you will not be entitled to any government support, which means that you are only going to be living on the money you make from your income. And yes, don't make the mistake of not putting into your pension pot. I know people like, oh, I want to retire, I'm going back to Nigeria. You can withdraw your pension and take it back to Nigeria if that's what you want. But if you've not contributed, so which means that you've just been working and you've been spending your money, you wonder how some people live the kind of life they have when they've not contributed into their pension pot. Please contribute into your pension pot. If you don't want to do it with your employer, you can do a private one. I've always paid, as long as you work full time, even your employer will encourage you to put a certain percent into your pension pot, which means when you're retiring, you'll be entitled to some sort of money every week or every month from the government based on your income and your pension that you've put in. Yes, some people who have not put in, they still get some sort of pension from the government, but you cannot live on it. If I go into my app here where I'm able to check all of my whatever I'm entitled to when I retire, when I look at the money that they expect just me, at the age of 58 to live on every week, that money, I'm sorry, it's not enough. Hence why I will continue with my side also. That money is not enough. Maybe economy might change, we might start buying bread for 50p, or I might start filling my full tank for £20. Maybe then would I say, okay, that money, because I keep looking at this app every other month and I'm like, this one that this government are saying that when I turn 58, this is how much I'll be getting every week. It's not enough money. It's not enough money. So you need to put into your pension pot don't make the mistake of not putting anything into it because you suffer. And there was a time some people asked me that, oh, those of us who don't want to stay, we've been here for that long, but we don't want to stay, we want to go somewhere else. What will happen to the pension money that we've put in? You can always request to withdraw it. Yes. So let's say some people who have been here and they're like, oh, they don't want to wait here for 15 years before they get their permanent residency and they're going back to Nigeria. You can request to withdraw it. Yes. You can request to withdraw it. Just because you're living here and living the UK entirely does not mean that money. No. You can choose to leave it because there's a record. They keep record here. There's database where they keep record. So because you left the UK to go back to Nigeria permanently does not mean that your name will not be found. Did you not see the list of those people? Hundreds of Nigerians who have bought properties and stuff, but they don't know where they are, and their properties are going to be, government are going to be entitled to it because they've not claimed, their family have not claimed the properties of these people. Nigerians, so houses, bank account with money in it, but they don't know where they are. Their family, I don't even think their families knows where they are. But then I think there's a time frame for family of such people to come and claim those properties. If not, the king is entitled to it. You don't want your case to be like that. So if you decide to leave the UK permanently, but then you've contributed into your pension pot while you're working, you can always request to withdraw it. I was going to do a video because somebody emailed me about it saying, oh, can you advise? You can request to withdraw. If you know you're leaving and you're not coming back, you can request to withdraw it. You can. It's just like me currently working now. I don't want to pay into my pension anymore. I can email and say, no, I don't want to pay anymore, but whatever I've paid, I want it back because I'm leaving. I can do that. So your money is not lost. You can always do that. Okay, let me read your comment, guys. I'm rounding up because, like I said, I have that meeting in half an hour. Osaf said the US has always been deporting illegals. Obama did more deportations than any other resident. I know someone whose job was raided in Brooklyn, New York under Obama. Wow. Okay. The cost of living there abroad, no, yeah, cost of living is not. For me, I'm still renting, and I don't know why I'm still renting. Maybe because I'm not willing to commit to mortgage. Because the way we own our houses in Nigeria is different. Like in Nigeria, you buy land, you build, and that's yours. But here, you're paying for 25 years, and it's not the small money you're paying. Maybe this mindset of mine has been, is a contributing factor to why I'm not on the mortgage ladder. Okay, even though I'm thinking of it, but then again, I'm like, why would I have to be paying over 1,000 plus or something for the next 25 years of my life? And then again, there's a clause to, if you grow old, that property, there's something you need to do. If you don't do it, the government will own the house. I'm like, what the, like, I paid all of that money, and the government will not tell me I can't build that property to my children because of certain, like, it's just messy. Yeah. First, to change your car every year, you must be very rich. There's something called, is it PPI or PP something, where you use the car for a year, you take it back, and then you change it. I know people who do that. I almost followed in their route, but like, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I've only ever bought a car, and I bought on hire purchase. It was a 7-seater. Yes, I have 5 kids, and then it was the best purchase I ever made. As the highest is a 7-seater. It is a 13 plates. It's a Vauxhall Tourer. It looks like a spaceship, but I love my car. If you see my car now, you would think maybe I've just driven it out of a showroom. No, but like I said, it's a 13 plate. I love it. It takes me, other than my tires needing pumped in, I need to change my tires actually. When I was going to work yesterday, one was actually quite low. So other than me changing tires, because road work, nail puncture, I don't mind changing tires, okay, paying for tires than changing cars every year. If the habit of changing cars every year, that's an unnecessary expensive life you're living, and I don't know how you're able to afford that. So I changed my mindset when bills started wiring my head. I was like, no, I can't do that. So I've always kept my car. Now I'm thinking of maybe selling it because it's a 13 plate. So that means that I've been driving it. It's a 13 plate, and it's how many years old? It's 13 years old. Yeah. The car is 13 years old, and it's still. See, once I service that car and I enter motorway or more, don't try me. You see the way my car will be like, boom, boom. Once I service, do full servicing, 160 quid I do it every 6 months. Do full servicing, enter motorway. No, put your feet on the pedal. I'm speeding away. Nothing is stopping me. So yeah, I would rather do that. And OJ said the cost of visa renewal will be too much for exactly, yes. So again, these are things you need to consider as well. Decide if it's what you want to do. If you're happy staying on it, then you you also have to be hustling, because renewing visas alone, like I said, when I had my case, I did not have my my indefinite leave to remain yet when I had my kids. So as soon as I had my indefinite leave, I paid over £7,000 for 4 children to register them as a British citizen. So that law of your child is what you are. When I was in the country giving back to my children, I did not have my indefinite leave to remain, which meant that I was pretty much like I did not have residents to stay in the country. So all of my children that I had then, they did not have the same permanent residency. So which meant that whatever immigration status I had then was what my kids had. So immediately the Home Office granted me my indefinite leave to remain, and that took 4 years. Actually, after 4 years was when I had my indefinite leave to remain, and I became a citizenship a year after. So the year I had my daughter, the year I had my son, my second son, was the year I got my indefinite leave to remain, which meant that my son can go on. I will need to register him to become a British citizen because I had residence permit. But the following year was when I had my daughter. And because I already had my permanent residency, because I already got my British citizenship, automatically my last daughter became a British citizenship at birth. So when I gave birth to her, all I needed to do was just apply for a passport with a birth certificate. That was all I did. But my other 4 older children, I had to pay over £7,500 to register them to become a British citizen. And I decided to do that because I don't want the case of these Jamaicans, Windrush, whose parents brought them, and because their parents did not do some sort of documentation for them, now they are struggling to be recognized as British citizens. That was the reason why I did that. I could have I'll just let them go about with their indefinite leave to remain everywhere, because policies change. I was not going to take that risk. Policies keep changing, so I was like, you know what? I have this money. Let's do it. Yeah, it cost me £7,500. I still keep that receipt till tomorrow, so that when my kids grow, I can show them. So it cost me £7,500 to register 4 children to become British citizen. So expenses included. I did the application myself. I took it to post office. You need to pay for a lot of things. So in total it was about £7,000. So, and I'm glad I did that. So they all have their British passport now. They can do whatever they want to do. I know that in future they will not be impacted anyway by any stupid policy. So yeah. Senior man said 58 is too young. 58 is too young to retire. They need to increase the retirement age. Go and increase it. When some people are even retiring before that age. Me, I want to retire by age 50. And yes, I need to get my hustle on, and I will retire by age 50. Obviously, by 58 is when I can take out my pension. 58 is the earliest I can take out my pension. Osa said, yes, it's like leasing a car for a certain time, and when you return it, you can get a new one. It's tricky though, because if you go over a certain mileage, you pay extra. Or if there's a damage to the car, you pay. So I'm not about that life. I'd rather do hire purchase. So that was what I did with my car. I took the hire purchase, car finance. I took car finance for 4 years. After 4 years of paying, then I paid an extra 600 and something, and then the car became mine. So I outrightly owned it since when? Since 2017. So I've outrightly owned my car since 2017, and I'm glad I did hire purchase. I'm glad I did. I mean, the APR I paid was not a lot. It was not a lot, so I'm glad that. So the car is still serving purpose, and I'm going to keep driving it until it says "meh." If it says "meh" and they tow it and they tell me they can't do anything about it anymore, that's where. But then I'll be prepared, to buy another one. Osa says they have deported some Windrush people and some. Yes. You see, it was when at that time, you can imagine when that case has been running. So I got my definitely leave to remain in 2010. You can imagine, since then, that was when I heard about the raindrop story. So, and it's still, people are still going through the struggles of that. So anyway, like I said, DF is not someone to take an advice from. And why I'm saying that is because he does not live in diaspora. There are some things he might think he knows, but he doesn't know. And for somebody who lives all of his life in Nigeria and has never ever be the first person to send a red light to speak about the ills in Nigeria, but is quick to advise people. Is quick to advise people of how to proceed with their life. Like, don't travel abroad, don't take your wife, don't do this, don't do that. And yes, like I said, I agree with what he's saying. And why I agree with him is the fact that the immigration policies he mentioned. Okay, that's the only reason I said I agree with him. But maybe don't take everything he said. Just take the thing that you know is of use to you and drop the one that does not matter. So this talk of don't travel abroad with your wife, all of this story that I think the main focus or the tagline of his social media platform is do not japa abroad with your wife. There's no, like I said, when I came across the first time I came across this video, those were the topics that he was always, and then you see some angry men. Oh, their wife will start cheating, their wife will start doing that, their wife will start doing this, their wife will start doing that. So and yeah, as a pastor who also curses a lot. I don't know how you use the same mouth to curse and you say also use the same mouth to pray to God. I don't know. But anyway, guys, let me go. I have that business meeting in about 20 minutes. Let me go prep myself. Thanks so much, guys. And if you're watching this video back, let me know what your thought and opinion are based on the things he said, and also based on a few other things I've also shared as well. You are the only one that can make that decision yourself. Don't let anybody stop your shine. Like I said, there are some people who are age 40 and over who travel abroad. They made it big. And there are some who came at that age and they struggled and they're still struggling. Some went back and some chose to stay. But you should be able to make up your decision. You should be able to make up your mind. Don't do things blindly. That's just what I'm going to say. Don't do things blindly. Take your time. Understand what you're getting yourself involved in. Because at the end of the day, you're spending a lot of money. I mean, when I hear people talk about how much they are paying to get renewals and stuff, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And how much are these people, like, how much are they making? How much? A nursing salary, I've always said, in fact, a nursing salary, I'm currently on the top band 5 now. So my pay scale is between 34 and 35,000. That's my pay scale as a top band 5. And yes, there's this band 6 review. So by this time next year, I'm going to be a band 6. And I'm hoping that my salary is going to maybe be in the 40s now. Fingers crossed, they don't change their laws again. Exactly. Do your research. Yeah, Osas is spilling all the facts here. Do your research. Like I said, food is expensive, especially in my own house now. My kids now, they used to love Nigerian food. Now, as I'm shopping for African food, I'm shopping for Igbo food. As I'm shopping for rice, gari, eba, I am also shopping for pizza, pasta, and all of these things. So, and in a way, I'm quite lucky because my kids are all grown. The youngest is 14, and they do their thing. But then, if you're coming with a young family, think about it carefully. And if it's something you think that you are a tough cookie, you can handle it, well, good luck to you. But then take advice from Daddy Freeze at your own peril. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, because he moves with the people who are now chopping the money in Nigeria, allegedly. And again, I don't think the talk of traveling abroad with your wife should be what should be on the mind of a man now, because you want your peace and you would want your wife with you. Because it doesn't make sense that one of you is in diaspora, you'll be paying rent here and you'll be paying rent in Nigeria when you should be saving that money. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. Thanks so much to every one of you who have been here. And if you're in the UK, please go shop my small business. I sell scented candles, wax mail. Go shop all of your Mother's Day. Mother's Day is around the corner. Let me actually share my website with you guys before we go, so that you guys can shop with me. Christmas not Christmas. Mother's Day is around the corner, so come shop with me. I sell scented candles, wax mail. A lot of products actually are coming on my website. So let me share my screen with you. Shop small businesses. So Yeah, this is my website. It's called TMO5 Candle Co. I sell, home fragrances. So these are new body sprays that I've just launched. I sell whipped soap that you can use to shave, and these are Lush dupes. If you love Lush products, so these are all Lush dupes. So these are whipped soap that you can use in your shower, just as you take a shower. This is a body spray. You can just put it in your bag. So I'm changing the packaging soon. I'm changing the packaging into a bottle rather than a plastic. So yeah, but you can get the ones in the plastic for £5. The bottle, once I change into the bottle, the price is going to change. Um, I've got room sprays as well in very beautiful bottles there. I've got wax melt in Spa collection, laundry wax melt, perfume based wax melt, Dubai scent wax melt, got candles that if you're going to Nigeria, you can actually pop this in your bag and it'll be fine. I've got more candles. So these are all of my Penhaligons inspired candles. You guys know I love Penhaligons perfumes. I think I've got about 7 perfumes from Penhaligons. So these are a dupe of all of their fragrances. This is my favorite one. So far, I've sold loads of this one. Is the Penhaligons the favorite? If you've ever smelled that perfume, this candle smells exactly like that. Travel inspired candles, and I ship throughout the UK. All right, I ship throughout the UK as well, and this is the one I would recommend for Mother's Day. So buy your wife or buy your girlfriend this candle. It's beautiful, not too rosy rose, but it's a beautiful rose scent. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite. Okay, and I also do more candles there. And this is another candle. So this is like a bundle, and this is the diffuser as well. You can just push this on the dresser in your room. I make this in car diffusers as well. So yeah, go shop there. We ship throughout the UK, and I believe there's a 10% money off coupon automatically applied at checkout. And yes, thank you so much, guys. And I shall see you guys later. And Ford, um, I don't ship to Nigeria yet, but if you have somebody here in the UK, you can send them to buy, and if they are coming to Nigeria, they can bring it to you. I think that would be the easiest way, and I would recommend the ones in the tin candles. So that one, it will not crack, it will not break. So for those of you who are in Nigeria, if you have somebody here in the UK who's planning on coming to Nigeria, you can ask them to help you shop and bring it for you. Yes, I am married. For the person asking, I am married. I'm blessed with 5 amazing beauties. I've got 3 kids at uni just now, and my last 2 are in secondary school. So God has been faithful. Yeah, for someone who came into the UK at the age of 19, 5 kids, trained twice in the UK. As you all know, for those of you who might not know, my first degree in the UK was information technology, and my second degree is nursing. So I'm currently a top band 5 nurse in the UK. It's not the best job paying the most salary, but we can't complain. It's good, and where I work, it's not stressful. It's just at a normal pace. Yeah. So guys, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye everybody.